Hello everybody, this is Pixelisna, and I am playing the game Lost Wiki Kozlovka. I don't know everything it's about, mostly that it's about a weird, mysterious, lost Wikia page, and we're gonna find out what it's about, so let's get started. Okay. Oh, and we have mail. Potential job in Kozlovka. I read your articles and I think you can notice what others miss. You're thorough and, more importantly, careful. That's what I need. I've granted you limited access to the database. It holds more than enough if you know where to look. So use the hyperlinks to navigate around the database. Drag the right words into the report. When you are satisfied with your conclusion, submit the findings to me and I will review them. Okay. Kozlovka is a small town located in the eastern region of Zarnava, nestled on the edge of the Bielowiska forest. The town boasts its agricultural achievements. With incredibly fertile soil, Kozlovka was founded in 1887 and survived significant challenges, including German occupation during World War II and later Soviet influence. Okay. No image available. Enter your system code followed by the local areas. What? My system code followed by the local area code. Okay. Zelfcott. No. Okay. This quiet town of Zarnava is beside the vibrant woodland and very distinct ecosystem at the heart of the forest. The tall tree sounds proud that locals refer to as... Okay. On a hyperlink to access an article. Got it. Bielorussia Forest is located next to the town of Kozlovka. It is known for its distinct natural features. It is the home of the ancient tree, the Draken Oak. Okay. The town itself is a thriving something business. Also home to unique and rare fungus symbiotic ergot. Agricultural achievements. Kozlovka is most known for its agricultural achievements. Their yearly yield supplies around 10% of the food in Zarnava. Their medicinal herbs are also known to be very overly potent. Even with their success, they have been a modern farming initiative proposed in the 90s. Medicinal herbs. Just, however... Ironically, due to Kozlovska's incredibly fertile soil, the medicinal herbs grown in the area are too potent for use and are not approved by the government. However, some locals vouch for their effectiveness, such as the local pharmacist, Dr. Mstislav Dragonov, and the witch, although she advocates more for its use in ancient pagan rituals. Okay. Modern farming initiative was proposed by Mayor Jan Dragunov in 1991 to revise Kozlovska's agricultural practices. It was approved by the Zarnavian government after achieving independence in the same year. The proposal involved Dr. Casimir Strovsky, who was invited to the town to undergo research. The proposal was ultimately scrapped in 1992. Okay, so we'll submit findings. Yes, it is besides a very distinct ecosystem at the heart of the forest. The tall tree stands proud at the locals refer to as the Draken Oak. The town itself has a thriving agriculture business, one which boasts bountiful harvests and produce. Yes. Need more than you found something, but not enough. If you want to keep going, you'll need to understand where this place began. Look for patterns and connections. The flowchart is a tool, not a solution. Follow the threads, not the labels. Okay. Got it. Engraved on the tree, there are 2 runes. Let's go back. Draken Oak. Here, let's move this over here a tiny bit. The carving on the trunk is said to be pagan tradition. Okay. Click on the hyperlink to access an article. Okay. Alright. Hyrcus draconis. Draken Oak is a rare and ancient tree in the Bielaska forest. Carving on the trunk is said to be pagan tradition to honor the agricultural seasons, protected by the Zarnavian government in 1981. Okay. Capture their independence. Year of Zarnavian independence. 1991. After, okay. Okay. Zarnavian Cultural Preservation Initiative. This initiative started in 1991 when Zarnava gained its independence. Its purpose was to preserve sites and documents of cultural significance. See below. Draken Oak, modern farming, Slavic ruins. Yes, okay. Uh-huh. It doesn't tell me what these are. Slavic rune symbols, excuse me. Okay. Zarnavians have an Eastern Slavic ancestry and formed pagan beliefs. Some of which come in the form of runes. Few locals, like the witch, some believe they hold power. A list of Slavic runes mark. That's not it. Associated with the god of thunder, the Slavic rune was believed to offer protection against misfortune and ill omens. Rodovic? Nope. Linked to a family lineage and ancestral blessings, frequently found on household objects. Izvini, the Slavic rune, is a symbol of forgiveness and peace and is often used in pagan rituals associated with restless spirits. Zamia's cross. This is a symbol of fertility and tied to a bountiful harvest. It is often carved into tools or boundary stones. That's our top one. And there's cross. And the bottom one being a twin glyph. 2 interwoven lines represent duality, growth and decay, renewal and remembrance. Some rural communities believe that this Slavic rune was a symbol of transition rather than an end. Twin glyph. There we go. Twin glyph. Sorry. I don't know why I'm a dum-dum. These beliefs are not unfounded. The local clearly holds spiritual beliefs tied to the forest. For there are colonies of what? Symbiotic ergot. Around the tree, the fungus is likely the cause of the town's agricultural success. Continue. Thank you. Apologies for being cautious. I needed to know you were the right person for the job. I haven't been fully honest with you. This isn't just research. Someone I cared about disappeared in the early 90s. True records are incomplete and inconsistent. Most people stop asking. I didn't. Okay. In 1990, there was a string of disappearances, most notably... Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's have a Kozlovka. Alright. Ironically, due to Kozlovska's credit, yes. Which is a local shaman who owns a small shop on Kozlovska's high street. She is most known for her appearance with her iconic one bloodshot eye. Even as a pillar of Kozlovska's culture, there is a decline in interest for ancient pagan rituals. As a tourist, you can get her signature spiritual chalk. Spiritual chalk is a flagship product of the witch, a local shaman on Kozlovska's high street. It is advertised to be able to commune with the surrounding nature and the souls of those who perished with rune symbols. It traditionally is a woman's job to mark sites with runes, as many did in the past. I'm gonna assume it was found in the forest. Chaotic ergot. Smir is a Russian mycologist who specializes in the study of rare fungi. He moved to Zarnava and dedicated most of his 30-year career studying the symbiotic ergot. He was mainly part of this modern farming initiative. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what my system code is. Yeah. Modern farming initiative. Proposed by mayor. Government. I gotta stand up for a second. Ledger. Town ledger. Click on. No hint available. I don't know what the code is for that. Well, I kind of need that. I don't have any other way to... Okay. It's a number. 91. 1991 is the only number I found so far. Maybe it's 1992? No. Um, wait. Um, Active natural feature. Okay. I don't know who that is. Um, Date of Winter Festival. Cultural achievements. German occupation. From 1941 to 1944, Kozlovka was occupied by the Germans and was the main source of food supply for the battalions occupying that region. June 1994, a huge offensive was launched, cornering the Nazis in the Bielowiska Vista forest. Dozens of lives were lost to the forest afterwards. Aeronautica declared independence in 1991. Okay. It's known for its agriculture. Medicinal herbs are unknown. Incredibly fertile soil. Now where do I find that? Sure. He's an accomplished medical doctor and the local pharmacist of Kozlovka. He was the first to formulate a medicine using the colony of symbiotic ergot. No one has been able to replicate his success. He was a local advocate of using Kozlovska's medicinal herbs for national-wide medical use. I don't. Okay, so I gotta go from the dragon. Looks like. I guess where I saw a link about the dragon outfit. I can't find it. Date of Winter Festival. I'm seeing squat about a winter festival. Okay. Dragon Oak. Wow. Roots mark. Thunder. Whatever. School objects. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. I don't see anything up close that is of value. Okay. Ah. There's that mark right there. John Dragunov. His current mayor of Kozlovka came into mayorship after he superseded his father, Tilia Dragunov, in 1992. He was best known for proposing the modern farming initiative in which he invited Dr. Kasimir Ostrovsky to Kozlovka to undergo research. Tilia Dragunov was the mayor of Kozlovka from 1945 to 1992. He was best known for establishing the Kozlovka police force, and his affection for bisons. He was superseded by his son, who mysteriously vanishes as a part of the tragedy commonly known as the 90s. Not that. There we are. There. Okay. This is 90s disappearance. 15 people vanished from Kozlovka over the course of 2 months in the summer of 1992. Most notably, Attila Dragunov was among the missing. The investigation led by Jan Dragunov ran cold after a year, having only found a few items from several victims. This was the most recent tragedy that the town had to endure. I'm not finding anyone else's name. One non-local. Who's the non-local? Doesn't say. But my mark was there. Okay, so let's see. I'll try 1992. No. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do, but sure. Maybe 1592 because 15 people and it happened in 92. Oh shit. No. What about 1945? That's when he was born. No. Huh. for a number here. I can't find a number that's not a 1991, 1992, or a date. Yeah. Let's hit 87. Oh, shit. I'm gonna do it again. No. Yeah. When is this winter festival I'm supposed to be looking at? Ergot. Yeah, there's no clues with a date or anything on there. Okay. So links in here. Just your wrestlings. Nope. Begin rituals. Rubber stones. Spiritual chalk. There aren't any links in here. What's this thing called? 342. Followed by the local area code. Like my local area code? No. So the system code is 342. What's my local area code? That doesn't show my local area code. When I find the local area code, it's not showing up in my email. See anything here that gives me a name or a number. It's just a picture of some glasses on the ground. Yeah, huh? Who's the non-local? Was it the doctor? That's the only thing I can think of. Can't believe they were so close to the town. This changes a lot of things. I need to investigate further. By now you must have tried to access our tragedy page. We normally don't show this to the public, but I'll make an exception. Access request approved. Thank you for contacting town hall after considering your close relationship with the governing bodies. Your request to access the Kozlovka tragedy has been approved. Below is a one-time passcode to access the page. 7328. Okay. 2. Okay. Our unfilled town Kozlovka has had a fair share of tragedies throughout its history. See below the list of notable incidents. 90s disappearance. Yes, we got that. Festival massacre. During the winter festival. Got the festival massacre. Okay. Battle of the forest. Animal killings. No. Right, let's reset all. Okay. Festival massacre. Culprit was caught murdering festival attendees. In front of the Draken Oak, when cornered, the culprit slit their own throat and joined their victims at the foot of the tree. This is the earliest tragedy recorded in Kozlovka. Okay. Festival massacre. Battle of the forest. That, I don't think that counts. Animal killings. In 1965, a tragedy occurred when locals were reporting their pets missing to the authorities. It was revealed that dozens of animals were found mutilated at the foot of the Draken Oak. Although investigations was quickly resolved, the bodies were proven difficult to retrieve due to them decaying at a faster rate in the soil. Animal killings. Summer plague. August 1990, an unusual wave of deaths spread across the town. Most victims had pre-existing medical conditions and were found deceased in their homes. Postmortems revealed unidentified fungal matter within their bloodstream. Expected at first to be fast-moving contagion, the tragedy ended as suddenly as it began. The 90s disappearance. Winter Festival. How long? Since the massacre in 1892. Animal killings. Summer plague. Alright, when did the winter thing festival happen? 1892, okay. So we go there to no hint available. Okay. Where did we need a hint? It was government one. Let's see, Scandinavian government. No. This one with a hint that involved the winter festival. Trying to find it. 1892. Date of winter festival. Okay. Okay. 1892. Ordered. Winter Festival occurs every 15th on December. Okay, so if we're doing it the European way, it's 1512 instead of 1215. Okay. Let's see. Let's do the disappearances. Isn't it the biotic ergot? So herb. Now I've lost where I was completely. Small herbs, incredibly fertile. Where? Ah. Can't remember where that was. I'll stumble upon it, I'm sure of it, but I think it was the forest. Something is not correct. Okay. So, 1892, Battle of the Forest. Agricultural achievements. So would that be like 1890 something? Yeah, we'll just save this image. Over here. Okay. We're going to compare that to... Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Kozlovka was founded by Bogdan Dragunov and Alina Dragunov. The story goes that their love guided them to this plot of land in hopes of starting anew as a family. A memorial was erected to honor the family, which includes quote the red, "For the loss of few, there are still many." Bogdan Dragunov was a founding member of Kozlovka. Originally a carpenter, his career shifted to farming after having their first child, who was born sickly. He was famous for being a terrible farmer, but nevertheless persevered. He was always devout to his wife, and has famously said to have borrowed her strength in times of need. Alina Dragunov was a founding member of Kozlovka. She was incredibly spiritual and set up the winter festival as her way of celebrating her husband's crops. The festival attracted dozens of people whose families make up Kozlovka. She was always devout to her husband, who was known in the community to set everything aside for the sake of her family. Okay. So they're not. Yeah. Good farming. Dragunov. To the disappearance. Tragedy. Here we go. Okay. So we gotta compare these peaks to the tragedies. 92. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. 1892. That tracks. So it's the Festival Massacre. The next peak. We got the Battle of the Forest, maybe? Yeah, it looks like it. And then the next one would be the 90s disappearances. Okay, there we go. Yes, for a small town, it had its fair share of tragedies. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. Your findings have been more than helpful. They're disturbing. This pattern we're uncovering, it's not random. Someone knew someone let it happen. You must have redacted, bypass installed on your system like any good journalist. It's been a while since it's been prohibited by the government, so here's the refresher on how to access it. Okay. Area code. Okay, good. So local area code is 321. Got it. 342321. Must first have your system code. You can find this in your computer system. You'll need the local area code of the city you'd like to bypass. You can find these in all the addresses. Okay. So it's not what I am. Okay. So where do I find this local area code? Whatever. So now, after the government's disapproval of their product, blank caused the tragedy. Okay. Okay. So you'd like to, you can find these in all addresses. So where do I find an address so I can find this local area code? I think I need that to access the ledger, but... Okay. Okay. 451. That's what I need. There we go. 4-2. 4-5-1. Shit. 4-5-1. Welcome to Redacted Bypass. With this program, you can access data from articles that have been previously modified by local authorities. Insert article name to continue. Okay. Let's move this over here. What we want is this. No. What? There's no redacted data available for this article. Nope. Okay. Attempting data retrieval. There was a disturbing rumor that the killer carved the runes into the dragon oak as a part of the festival traditions. Although not much evidence suggests this, it was speculated to be the reason why the festival is no longer celebrated. Okay. But it looks like this is looking for information about something else. Let's see. Something else being symbiotic or goat. Okay. Right. So we were on the right track before. Okay. Tragedies. Anything about the Battle of the Forest we don't know already? Oh, well, guess there is. Government documents showed that the occupation was not a simple invasion, but to also investigate an event that happened in the late 1800s. These documents were given to the local police force. Okay. Animal killings. Witnesses mentioned that they saw a red glowing dot darting around the area when the mutilation supposedly took place. This sparked a short-lived legend of an angry spirit in the forest. The police stated that this was a baseless rumor. Summer plague? Victims were frequent patrons of Dr. Mstislav Dragunov, who regularly complained that standard medicine would not help people with such long-standing medical conditions. After a swift investigation, the police said there was no correlation. Okay. Let's put that away for right now. Okay, let's see. Cigars is true of their product, symbiotic ergot caused the tragedy of the summer plague. Because of this, Blank proposed the blank to abandon any uses of the blank. Something is incorrect. Medicinal herbs? No. Everything. Biotic ergot? No. But that's not what I wanted. What is government? Ah. I probably did that. Let's see. I'm gonna check everything at this point. It's lazier. Okay, that's better. Said mycologist went missing during his time in Kozlovka. When the mycology community asked for his research in the forest, the local government refused to release it due to sensitive information. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. Chan was infamous for being vocal about his disapproval of the use of symbiotic ergot. After the plague, he launched a modern farming initiative with the primary goal of phasing out the fungi from use. So he was the one. Okay. No. It's a bit of an odd statement to begin with, just the way it's posed. Kind of a pain in the butt to go through all this stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can find anything about this gentleman. As the town was relatively small, there was no sheriff, and so the mayor was responsible for leading investigations. Upon appointing himself sheriff, he stated, "As long as I draw breath, I shall keep the town thriving. Know that I will do what's best for Kozlovka." Tragedy. Okay. Wait, no. Let's see what we can find on these two. Bogdan Dragunov. Bowden, not Bogdan. Excuse me. Nope. Alina. Right. No. Right. Nope. That's not the one. It's the one right here. Nope. Okay. Okay, so, we know this is about the summer tragedy. We have to, let's go back. Um, I know this goes here. This guy. I think this needs to go here. Do this. Yeah, I knew it was about the summer tragedy, whatever. We know he had a problem with the situation. Disappearance, tragedy, summer break. Okay, let's try again. Looks like we got it. Yep. Let's see what it says now. Maslov is a good man, but I knew his ambition would get to him. To think he risks innocent lives, I may have found something that is of use. What's inside is sensitive. Handle it accordingly. I'll continue digging all around for more material. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. To whom it may concern, as you may know, it's been 3 months since our mayor went missing. He was dear to our hearts, but alas, we must come together and continue running the town. The control of the Kozlovka police force and its public database will be transferred to his son, Jean Dragonov, as he will be taking the reins as mayor of the town. With that, the passcode to the town ledger has been changed. It is now heading code of the town hall. The heading code of the town hall. Okay. Heading code of the town hall. Hmm. Heading code of the town hall. And where, pray tell, will I find the heading code of the town hall? Okay, thanks, true. Being responsible for the tragedy. Okay. Um, Cultural achievements. Okay. He announced a more potent version of his medicine in 1989, but failed safety tests in the subsequent years and was not approved by the government. Okay. Um, hmm. Yeah, you can't read anything on that. Hmm. Let's see. Go back to the tragedies. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, dogs. Go from there to here. His father. There. Oh, no. That's not very helpful. Um, Situation is already going in. Um, um, hmm. There isn't a family record. I did 1887. I need to get to the page about the family. There's one specific page I need to find. Struggling. There we go. Okay. So Prospect is highlighted to the heading code of the town hall. Right. Heading code of the town hall. We did that. We got Northwest 6. Numbers. Okay. So that's the whole number. Okay. Sort of north is 0. Northeast is 40. So it's like a clock? Well, I gotta pull up like an actual proper clock on my phone. Like one that looks like a real clock. Hold on. I'm not finding it. Oh, okay. So that would make Northwest 315. Okay. That's 3156. Okay. Yeah. So 3156. Oh, I did it. Sailor details the family that governs the town of Kozlovka. Let's try and wiggle it. See below the list of the family members. Okay. Lilia. Who's Lilia? Lilia Dragonova is the adoptive elder sister of Altia and Zitslav Dragonov, although she acted more as caregiver to the two boys rather than a sibling. Not much is known about her besides reports of her eccentric personality. In 1965, the Dragonov family announced that she had run away, although no investigation was held. So is that's the witch? Hold on. They are responsible for the tragedy. Okay. Volya. It's the mother of John Dragonov. She was a proud mother and adamantly supported John's mayorship after her husband's disappearance. Although she no longer uses her last name, she still has close connections with the family. Okay, so 1965. Gotta find some more herbs. Chris? Rich. They are responsible for the tragedy. Okay. Appearance. Tragedy. 90. I don't think that's... Okay. Tracking. Oh. I think it's this one. 2. Tracking. Oh. Hmm. That... I think I gotta go back to the tragedies first. Because it said she ran away in 1965, so... We assume that that's... Yeah, because it was not... It was this one we saw that kept getting carved on the tree. Let's see. Yeah, see? You look here, this repeatedly been carved on it, rather than these two that were just there once. It says she frequently returns to the site of the tragedy. Okay. All right. To think that the witch was their sister all along, and to think they had a sister to begin with. It's almost unbelievable. I found this document hidden in the archives. I feel like it was meant to be buried, like it wasn't meant to be found. I hope it helps your investigation. The tree looks to be centuries old. It can be confirmed with the tree in shock, like the pictogram suggests it seemed to be carved with some carpenter tool. Remind soldiers not to trample over the area and be careful of the delicate fungi. They are hard to spot, but they are there. Update. Find a letter written a few days after the incident. We'll attach it with these notes. Okay. Seriously. Okay. Um, okay, let me know what that is. Slavic symbol. Mhm. So the rumors of this tragedy, like, so there are two tragedies that are like right next to each other. There's a list of tragedy. Okay. 292. Put the dolphins on the tree. Mm-hmm. Tragedy. If it's that early, then there aren't a lot of people that can conceivably be responsible for it. They get her name. Probably her, right? She's kind of spiritual and set up the winter festival as her way of celebrating her husband's crops. So that makes sense. And then I'm iffy on whether this could have really led to the. Because the only other tragedy after this is the Battle of the Forest, but it's the only one that comes after it. So just sort of process of eliminationing this shit right now. Let's see if that's right. Oh, it is. Okay. So they were kind of dumb. Got it. Like, just as a family, really. Conspiracy. This must have been the beginning of it all. I've heard of the legend before, but always thought it was some old wives' tale to scare me when I was a child. I think we've uncovered a much deeper conspiracy than we thought. Surely someone must have known all of this. How did these tragedies go unnoticed, unconnected? Okay. Blake intentionally led investigations astray. Okay. They ousted Blank from the family after the tragedy and covered up mistakes made by Blank after the tragedy. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. It's pretty obvious. He was the guy who was like in charge of shit. And, you know, she was dad, so it makes sense. It's like in charge of the police and all of that. So, yeah, they would have ousted her out. Then tragedy in question. Could be the animal killings. That's the one where she disappeared from the family. Made by Mrs. Slav. Tragedy. This one, that's the one he caused. Okay. Yep. Hold on, taking a sip. My cucumber lemonade. It's sugar free. It's good. I don't think this is a good direction to pursue. You've already done more than enough for the investigation, and your notes have been very helpful. But for now, I'm asking you to stop looking into this. Please leave it be. Okay? Must have been incredibly close to. Yeah, I mean, you would be. You have to be, right? I have a pretty good idea of who we are. The only person who's not a blood member of the family, she doesn't use her last name anymore, so that must be us. Or them. Wrong assumptions. Asiano was my husband. He was everything to me. I loved him, and I never imagined he would be involved in whatever this is. I hired it because I wanted to know what happened to him, not to learn he might have had a part in it. I don't know everything he did, but he was always a private man. Please don't assume the worst without proof. Okay. Okay. Smart play. So many tragedies. No. Everything traces back to one place, and that roots lead back to, obviously, they lead back to the tree. Even says so in the next thing. Oh. Back to the Draconet. We've come too far to stop now. I suppose we have to see this through. I went through his office. I hate doing it. It feels wrong, but something caught my eye. I don't know why he had this or what it means. Maybe you'll understand it better than I do. Sorry, Jan, but it's impossible. The land is too reliant on the symbiotic ergot. Without it, we just can't. Maybe decades later, something can change, but the damage is too dire. Your proposal will fail, and there's something else. I think I'm being watched. I might know who's behind the recent incidents, but I need to be certain. Before I say more, I'll explain it in person. July 21st, 1992. Okay. Okay, so it was 1992. When did he went missing in 1992? Okay. Makes sense. But he would have sent the letter because he was obviously a scientist. And it would have made sense for him to have sent it to John. But this would fail. Because he said it was the soil was too dependent on his ergot. And that makes sense. Like anything that wasn't able to survive in that environment. So yeah. And seems like they were talking about the disappearances. So at this point, I don't know if we have anything else to unlock in terms of information. Just going on common sense at this point. These are the last of what I could find. They know I've been looking into this. If something happens to me, please find. Okay. Dearest daughter, do not fear the sacrifice your mother made. Take the fungi and you will probably survive. You will thrive. The land will remember your name as it remembers hers. With all the love it can give you, your father, December 1982. 1892. Dear brother, I read father's letters. Think about it. If the land feeds on what is given, then maybe it doesn't have to end in ruin. Maybe this is how we survive. It's no wonder she never seemed to age. All this time I need to test it. A few small trials just to see the thought alone has kept me awake for days. I know how it sounds, but this could change everything. Imagine what we could do for the next 15 years. Dear brother, time is running out. I think I'll have to start soon. John invited some expert after your clumsy mistakes, but I think I can handle them. Perhaps your trials were not failures. You said they passed in their sleep. It might be the best solution to make it as painless as possible. It's the best we can do for what we're asking of them. For the loss of a few, there is still many. Okay. Everything all right? Volya, are you still there? I'd like to apologize for Volya Dragonova's actions as of late. Unfortunately, we've decided to terminate your contract. Please cease all prior investigations and send your invoice to the town hall. Services will be paid in full. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay. Okay. Who else would it be? Everyone else is supposedly dead or whatever. That was a good guess, or perhaps you're something more perceptive than I gave you credit for. Tell me, what's driving you now? Curiosity, guilt, or the need to be right, no matter the cost? You're probably the only one to understand. Too much blood has been spilled in... Not there. Kozlovka. Mike and I didn't know what we were uncovering, but now we do, and the world deserves to know. That's probably going to end badly for everyone. Well, yeah, and I didn't know what we were uncovering, but now we do, and the world deserves to know. Okay. You are as naive to think that simply telling everyone is going to solve anything. Truth doesn't heal, it spreads, it divides, it consumes. Fine, I'll let you continue your investigation. You already have everything you need. Perhaps you'll understand the position I've been forced into. Start from the beginning. Okay. Hmm. So these letters. Assuming they're addressed to her. So she's supposedly much older than she actually looks. I'm assuming she. It was written by Bowden. It was from 18 something, right? So it had been written by Bowden. Suggests the tragedy. I think we all know what tragedy that was. It's a festival massacre. That's the only one that happened in the 1800s. This was a ritual to cultivate more symbiotic ergot retreat. No, shit. Moving on is illness. Right, because the eye. She had an illness. Letter was lost to time, only in, to be found. Yeah, it was found during the forest massacre because the other thing said there was a letter attached, but we didn't read the letter yet. So, yeah. Continue. Okay. Attempting the ritual. Okay. Lilia. Right. Caused the tragedy. We already know what that. Um. She was caught. Right. This one. That's the one she caused. They were caught. He took the letter, sent it to him, the doctor. Their excitement he caused. Shit, wrong. This is the tragedy he caused. Got it. Okay, almost there. Okay. Almost there. Incident. Jean. Invited him to research the ergot. Well, research underway. Okay. Plus the other episode went missing. She didn't go missing, but he did. He's the only one missing. So she caused the 90 disappearances, and it was assumed to be a part of the 90s disappearances. That makes sense, right? He said something was wrong. And dear old dad intercepted the message and had been killed. Okay, that makes sense. Well done. I'm assuming you already figured out what happened next. Sure. I already did from the last one, because you would have had to go missing. He's the only one missing. Yep. Okay. Okay. He may have been my father, but by the end, he wasn't the man I knew. When I learned what he'd done, what he'd intended to continue, I had to end it. It was foolish because in the end, the burden fell onto me. The irony of it all. Some truth wrought everything they touched. Do you understand why the past had to stay buried? Okay. So at this point, like, we've discovered everything, and now we're just filling in the blanks, and it's not that hard to do. Let's see. Kozlovka. Too reliant on the symbiotic ergot. Just because she relied on the symbiotic ergot, the town was built on death, on rituals, disguised as tragedies, and it's been feeding on that ever since. Casimir only confirmed, just do what you must do. Casimir only confirmed what I was too scared to admit himself. The town is built on blood, and to an extent the country of Zarnava. If we stop the process, people will starve. But what's a measly few to sacrifice only every 50 years? It was a curse inherited by my family, but I've grown tired of the charades. I think in my heart, I wanted someone to know. I won't stop you from doing what you think is right. I only wish my mother wouldn't need to know. Okay, so now we have to decide, and I decide to burn the tree. Thank you for doing what I spent my life wishing I could. But every time I tried, I thought of what dying would mean, and I faltered. I was too scared, but now I've lived a much longer life than I needed. If Kozlovka survives, I pray it remembers you more kindly than it will remember me, Lilia. And that's the end. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I think it's really fun. It can be a little hard sometimes to find things, but I think one of the things I figured out is that if you're an impatient and try to jump ahead like I did, that makes it more frustrating than it needs to be. So I think it's better to just go along with the game, the story of the game, and let it take you where it wants to take you. But yeah, I really liked it. And I suggest you buy it. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the game on Steam. I'll see you next time. Thank you.